Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. This is going to be a quick little recap because we finally have some details about what happened with Mel, as we now know who was arrested, okay, over there in Huntsville. And I was like, child, I had no plans of doing any work today. It's the weekend. I am off work, and I wanted to chill. But Queen Sheba Darling, who was a YouTuber, great interviewer as well, was on live last night, and Mel called in. Okay, and Mel popped up on the live and she gave details. Now, she also said how she'll give more details in her Patreon, but y'all know I'm not going to brag about Patreon. Okay, so I said we have the gist of what happened, and that is what the conversation will happen today. So y'all know, do a couple of things for me. To one, like the video, make sure you are subscribed to my channel, comment in the comment section, and y'all know, like, share, and all that stuff that goes along with it. And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and hype up the video. Now, I don't really watch Love and Marriage Huntsville anymore. I do watch the previews and the clips on YouTube, on IG. And that is it. Okay, well, I forgot I'm here. Hold on. Girl, I'm here. Hey, how y'all doing? I had to, comb my hair, put a shirt on, and come over here with y'all and whatnot. We were live yesterday, so if you have not already done so, go watch that live. We're live on Thursday, go watch that live as well. Wednesday, go watch that. Okay, we were live 4 days last week or whatever, so go watch that stuff. But today we're getting into this little tidbit. Okay, now Mel and Martell, they were, hold on. I had to respond to it things. Mel and Martell have been divorced. They were divorced, I think, about 5 years ago. And, I don't even watch the show anymore. Again, I see the clips that is on IG. That's really, really it. And I feel like it's not that because Mel left the show, I stopped watching. I watched after she left. The show just, to me, has lost its luster. I do see how they're still trying to use her in little ways, mainly Martell, in my opinion. Because why would you mess with that lady behind the scenes? Why even do anything with her at the all? And a part of me feel like because Martell was arrested for that domestic violence communication stuff sometime, I think it was last year, when that stuff happened, I feel like he's just been trying to get back at Mel ever since then. And that's stupid and that's dumb. And we can't wonder what was going on because Mel had made a couple of troubling posts on IG and no one knew what it was about. No one knew what had happened. And so for the most part, we was all concerned about, girl, what happened? What went on here? So just for some clarity, I want to show y'all the messages that she had put up. And hold on. She had put up a few IG posts. These were her IG stories. I believe she also shared most of it to her TikTok. And it was her discussing some things. But I want to pop off screen. The last few days, I literally have been fighting for my life. Never ever would have thought lies won't stand, but still really like what to make something up. Wow. I literally walked away from that show, was tired of the loud abuse, the protection and covering. And to me, I think let's shot at Carlos and the powers that be over at OWN or at Carlos King Productions, because Mel and Martell were both on that show. And the antics that we saw of Martell that never stopped on or off the show is what I think she meant by, allowed abuse and protection and covering. The constant yelling, screaming, blatant lies, cursing women out, etc., on national television. And then on the most recent episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, we did see Martell yelling. I think he told Nell to shut the fuck up, was what I saw in the preview and whatnot. And still no peace, still want to see me down and out that bad, still want me to be looked at as on your level that bad. Decisions to be made, hard conversations to have, therapists on speed dial. She also had made a post saying, I barely slept last night. Literally, I can feel my nervous system. It's as if I'm just shaking and can't stop. I look at my babies, they're at peace right now. Sleeping, that's the most peace I've seen in them, because when the day begins, the anxiety begins, questions after question, angry, furious, heartbroken. Telling my kids I may have to leave, but find me when you're of age. I'll be here. One of the hardest convos of my life. They don't understand, but they do, because they witnessed it all and know it's untrue. Seeing the pain and hurt in their eyes, I don't know what they're going to do, but I know they will be able to find me eventually. And that was the first set of posts she made. She also posted the following day. Almost every morning, I get up and I take a bath, like really sit in the tub. Sometimes at 4:30, just so I can beat the kiddos waking up. I sit out, breath, meditate. The last 5 years, meaning the 5 years since I have been divorced from that man, ain't been with that man, and have really been done with that man. 5 years, 5 whole years. Okay, I've traveled more than ever, seen places I had only read about. I had experiences that were amazing. I met some super amazing people. Moved on with my life, yes, and real life, and that's a good thing as well. She also said, "Oh, hit play." Why is it being weird? Because I wanted to show what she said before we get to what she said last night. My reason that pays me take my babies on vacations all the time so they can experience life outside of Huntsville. It's literally living. But what do you do when you have a narcissist who won't let you go? Happiness shows, and so does bitterness and anger. See, I will go to war for one thing, only my babies. Other than that, I don't bother anyone. Child support, nah. Garnishments, can you please get that removed? Because I know there's a house closing coming up and I don't want to add an extra burden. But imagine the whole time you're fighting your legal counsel to help someone help someone else out. They're behind your back, plotting, lying, and scheming. And honestly, I think that's part of what hurts even more, but yet make the spiritual warfare up at all show up even more. My heart posture has never been one to wage war, never been one to make false accusations ever, but the trait to do so only resembles the demonic energy of it all. That was the first set of things that she had said. about Martell. Now,
I saw that you were live.
yesterday she popped on to Queen Sheba Darling's live on YouTube. And this is all in fair use, fair use, fair use. We're going to have some commentary, some comments. We're going to listen along to what Mel said. We're going to comment about what Mel said. I'm going to give my commentary on what Mel said. That's why this is all use and fair use. So again, if you want to see the full context of Queen Sheba Darling's convos, conversations, her thoughts, go to her page to do it. But I just pulled out what Mel said about what happened. Now, Mel again kept saying that she would go on her own live on Patreon, but y'all know Patreon is a paid thing. And I'm not paying for anything. I'm just not. I feel like whatever I'm supposed to know will come out in one way or the other, and I can have the conversation that way. So let's get into it. It gives me some stopping, listening, commenting, because that's fair use. I cannot just play a whole video from someone else. So boom.
No, I just saw that you were live, and so I just wanted to come over and first say hello to everyone, and just thank everyone for the prayers, all the positivity I've been seeing. I haven't really been able to click on all of them, but I've seen all the DMs and all the prayers and all of that. And without going into too much, because I will be addressing it myself as well on my Patreon.
And as I said before, Mel has every right to put her story on Patreon, because Love Marriage Huntsville is on TV. We pay for TV. Okay, so their story is also, on a paid platform. It's on the television. So if Mel is no longer on television and Mel wants to continue to tell her story, she has every right to have a paywall where she gives her fans, direct information, more details, extreme details on her Patreon. She also gives tidbits on her social media as well. But girl, y'all just know my thing is, I'm not trying to pay for someone's Patreon, but I also feel like she has a right to have her information on her paid platform. Okay.
I just want to say, when I operate and I move, first of all, I don't move from a place of hatred, and I never have. I don't walk around with hatred in my heart, and I don't walk around trying to operate in that.
And I think for the most part, people who have seen Mel over the years, she has never came off like a hateful person. She also isn't perfect. But I felt like if you have watched the show since season 1, you can kind of see Martell. Yeah, Martell is an absolute insane person. Martell is an absolute narcissist, and even 5 years after their marriage has been over, he still is harassing that lady. And that's the part that aggravates my spirit, is the fact that we see what he do, and people still want to make Mel the villain. And I don't understand that. It's not as if we have not seen Martell in action. It's not as if we have not seen Martell fully attack that lady and fully lie to make Mel look like a villain, and we see it's him.
So when you think about being light, and part of the reason again why I chose to leave Love and Marriage Huntsville, when you think about being the light and you think about being in a place where there's just so much darkness, after a while, in the beginning it's hard to understand, and after a while you're like, this place is not here for me. This is not it. And so I never, and I always say this, I never want to change who I am because of how somebody else moves. Do you become wiser? Does it maybe make you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this? Absolutely. I cried this morning. I cried yesterday. My initial response was just a spirit of gratitude. And I felt gratitude the entire weekend because I was like, wow, look how God looked out for me. I wasn't out here driving with my children and got pulled over. I
They had with Martell. When Martell when Martell went to the jail and had the kids in the car, is when he got arrested for his DV stuff.
was not, going to renew my tags or something and was told you got a warrant. And so I was just thankful. I was so thankful. The night before, me and my kiddos and their friends had been outside. People on my Patreon saw it. We were outside playing, having dance competitions, just enjoying the summer. Summer break has started. So my house is always the sleepover house for all the school kids, right? Just enjoying. And so that morning, Friday morning, they were here. My children were here. And the way that I was warned that the police were below my house and why they were there. And all again, I'm not going to go in all the detail because I'll say that for my Patreon family. But the way that I was warned and told, and just I couldn't help but be thankful and be grateful to God because I'm like, wow, like you looked out for me like this. And not only that, but you allowed somebody else to end up in handcuffs that day, right? And so that was the gratitude stage, thankfulness. Then became the stage I think started yesterday, which was the emotional piece of how can someone hate you so much, just hate you so much, even though you don't try to make their life a living hell. Y'all, let me tell y'all, I don't bother this man. I work and I take care of my children. I don't care what he has going on. I don't care what he's doing, who he's with. I don't care. I don't care. So I look at it and I'm like, wait a minute. How could somebody hate you that much that they would go to the ends of the earth to lie just to get you in trouble, to have you arrested? This is crazy.
And to me, because she goes into more detail as we'll listen to it, but if I'm at home with our children, okay, and you actually is out there with the police trying to get me arrested. Now, when Mel had the warrant out for Martell, that's because Martell was harassing her via text message. Martell was uh plotting to post some revenge porn. There were a lot of harassing text messages or whatever. And Mel just said, "Hey, I'm tired of it. He keeps doing it. I'm gonna file a police report." And so there was a warrant out for Martell's arrest because Martell was doing things. And again, I still feel like he has been waiting to retaliate against her for that. And again, that happened back in 2025. It's 2026. So Martell has been consistently plotting to do something against her, to get her in trouble, or just to make her life difficult. Because when you have moved on with your life, but that man or that woman can't move on and they do crazy things to bother you, you have to protect yourself even more because you never know what they're doing. And even her saying like, I don't talk to him, I don't deal with him, I don't know anything going on over there. I mind my business. I work and I take care of the kids, and I'm still having to worry about what he could do, should do, might do on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And now I'm at home finding out that the police are down the street with my ex-husband trying to arrest me because he has a warrant off my arrest.
So then I had to deal with the emotional piece of it, right? And I'm still dealing with that. So, I think there are different stages to this. I still have been fighting all week long. And I know y'all, when I tell you I know y'all's prayers are working because I feel my strength, just really coming back. And I'm just thankful. Through it all, I'm still thankful. What my next move looks like, I'll be honest with y'all, I don't know. I don't know what my next move looks like.
And what's crazy is as much evidence as we see as Martell being crazy deranged, she still has no protection. She's still being forced to co-parent with this crazy ass man. And we see on the news all the time how women are forced to co-parent with some man who's crazy, and then crazier things happen, more dangerous things happen, and then we're saying, "Oh God, we wish we could have changed it." Well, you've been seeing the evidence of craziness for the past 5 years. At what point do we say, "Hey, put his ass on timeout"? Okay, he should only have either supervised visits or no visits at all until he is mentally capable of not being a crazy, insane person harassing his ex-wife and the mother of his children. But again, she's being forced to still deal with him. And then I'm at home out of my business on an early morning to find out the police are here to arrest me.
Because I have a hard time sitting with being arrested or turning myself in even for something that's not true. So I'm sitting back to let the evidence be revealed. Let the evidence be reviewed. Set up, but May 29th, I got word that officers were down the street from my house with a warrant to arrest me, and my ex was there with them.
So May 29th was just what, last week? That was last Friday. So just last Friday, she said, I'm at home and I was notified that, hey, Martell crazy ass is out there with the police and they're here to arrest you. They're the one off your arrest. And this is, early Friday morning. I'm at home with my kids. And to me, I'm like, now why would you do that? Now, if Mel had did something in order for her to be arrested, that's one thing. But I feel like Mel is too smart to do things to get herself arrested. Now, Martell is stupid. But Mel has shown herself to, not really be crazy like him.
Hold on.
To take the kids. Yes. When I'm arrested. Yes. So no, they were called to come to my house on Friday. This warrant has been active, I found out, since May the 12th. I was not aware of it until May 29th. And so the things that happened or had to happen after that moment, I was already up because I get up to take a bath every morning about 4 or 5 a.m. So this happened at 7 in the morning. So I was already awake. And I immediately just had to grab my children and put them in my room and their friends in my room. And like I said, I'll go into detail of that on my Patreon, how all of that played out. But
Okay.
yeah.
Because Martell is always trying to make Mel look like a bad mom. It started from him saying, oh, she has 20, 30 nannies. She's never the one that's with the kids. When she's out traveling for work, the kids are with whoever. So Martell has a habit of trying to make Mel look like a bad mom. So if I know there's a warrant out for arrest, and I know she's about to be arrested, and then I have to come be the savior to come save my kids because she's been arrested, I then look like a great father, and she looked like a bad mom. So, even her saying like Martell was out there probably because he wanted to show or have some kind of evidence, proof to show, hey, look, she got arrested. And I had to say the kids.
Yeah, they definitely would have been ambushed if it was someone who did not have that opportunity to know there are officers down the street from your house with a warrant for your arrest, and your ex-husband is down there with them to grab the kids when you're arrested. Probably to record it as well, I'm sure. But God said no.
That's what people are asking in the chat.
I
And
can't see the chat. I'm so sorry, y'all.
that's
Okay, let
okay.
me
Let
try
me
to.
read it and I'm gonna answer it. You don't have to answer it. Let me see. I'm gonna just give
Okay.
my opinion.
And again, Queen Sheba had an open forum on her YouTube channel when she was talking. The male called in, and that's how this conversation started. That's Queen Sheba talking.
The question is, was the cameras rolling? That's what I want to know. Lies and more lies. That's what I want to know. In your opinion, based on just let's say character traits.
Meaning Martell is crazy. Martell likes to record things. Martell is on a TV show because Martell is still on Love Marriage Counselor, but she is not. So it's like, because they're following Martell's life, could they possibly have cameras rolling to show Martell showing up with police to handle these things with Mel?
That could that have been a possibility?
No, cameras can't be rolling for that in the sense of for a show because I'm not on a show. That's why I'm not mentioned on a show and cannot be. So that wasn't the case. Probably for their own personal, themselves or their blogger friends or, whomever.
And even heard this saying here how she can't be mentioned on the show. She's not on the show. I think that's why after she left, no one said her name, and they all talk around thing that happened that was connected to Mel because they can't say her name. They can't mention her as her just in there right now. They can't mention me. They can't show me. There must be something in place where she has banned them from mentioning her, showing her, or including her in the show since she's no longer on the show.
Oh,
but not for a show. No. But I will say this. I have not struck anyone. I have not hit anyone. I would be a fool. First of all, that was something I wanted to do in front of an audience. Do I look like a fool? I have not struck nor hit anyone. And there's a difference from 2026 versus when all this stuff was fresh.
Meaning there is video when her and Martell were still married, and she found out he was cheating, and she found out he took some money out of their accounts. Where they were having a tussle, and he reported her after she confronted him about taking, I believe it was like maybe 20 or 30,000 out of their account. So I think the reason she's saying there's a difference between 2026 mail and 2019, 2018 mail. There's a difference between how I acted then, because when someone says I would never hit him, I would never put my hands on somebody, someone, I mean, Martell could say, "Oh, but in 2019, when you found out I was cheating, and in 2019, when you found out about that extra baby I had on you in 2018, 19, in whatever time, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, there's a video of you pushing me and threatening to beat my ass." Well, yeah, I was a bit pissed off back then, but I've learned I've grown. So 2026 male would not do that.
Right. And and that's what's interesting is when people say, oh, she needs to go heal. Oh, she needs to go heal. Oh, she needs to go heal. You don't get to tell me where I am in my healing stage. The fact of the matter is, what looks like healed to me is how I've been operating. How I've been operating is I don't bother anybody. I don't mess. Now I will respond to you, right? If I need to. And that's not even all the time.
I don't trust Martell or Carlos, even though they can't say her name. They will probably try to use his involvement for the show because he has no storyline. A part of me do feel like even if they don't say Mel's name, because I believe they're filming now. So a part of me feels like they're going to absolutely bring up Martell having a domestic situation with a former partner, um, and whatnot. They're going to talk around it. They're not going to mention her name at all, but they're going to talk around it. And I think that is probably why she's also pissed off, because I think she knows they'll try to use it on the show in some kind of way. Because what else does Martell have going on? He has nothing going on. And I think that's why so many of us YouTubers have, one, stopped reviewing it, two, stopped watching it. And the only reason I watch the clips online on the Instagram is because it's on Instagram. And when I watch, I'm like, girl, So her point is that whole environment was so toxic. I don't want to be a part of that at all. So there's a difference between male and 2019. Because I want to say when that happened, it had to be like 2018, 19, 20-ish time, because he got Cole got pregnant, during COVID time. That was 2020. So the video of Mel and him, having a dispute and her threatening to beat his ass. I do believe she maybe pushed him or whatever. I think that was going on. But again, he took the lady money. Yeah, he took the lady money, and that was when and that was, and to me, she was a different person then, and she had every right to be pissed off. And that was them in the home doing shit. I'm not gonna beat you up in public.
There's so much that I've kind of just, whatever. So that's not even all the time that I even respond. But the 2026 part of me, I'm not about to do nothing that should warrant me to be in any legal trouble. So striking, hitting, as I've seen all this kind of, oh, she hit him. Oh, she swung at him. Lie. Never did. But let the record show. Let the evidence show. And that's the biggest thing. Let the evidence show that these things are untrue, because they are. Because they are. You're talking about a cafeteria that's small.
So again, context clues she's giving, because even though she keeps saying I'm gonna go and give details on my Patreon. She's still giving us little context clues about what happened. So clearly, in the cafeteria, in the school, so something happened at the, because the only time Mel is around Martell is at the kids' events. I think we know that. I think that I also feel like he uses the kids' events as ways to beef with her, because other than that, he don't see her.
With parents, teachers alike, all in this same room. What if there was this big incident? Where was the police? They weren't called. The ambulance weren't called. People didn't pull out their phones and start recording. Like, oh my gosh, they're into it, because we weren't into it.
Meaning you went and told the police that I attacked you, I fought you, I hit you, I put my hands on you at a school or at a child's event around other people. Okay, cool. If that's true, if we out here in public around teachers, principals, parents, the kids, why did no one else witness it? And again, we all know if Mel Martell fights, fuss and fighting, someone is going to report it. Every time something with them has happened, someone has recorded a piece of it. The last big thing that happened was that fight that happened at Badani. They had all kind of camera angles. Well, I don't believe that Martell Holt and Melody Sheree Ryder was at a kids event or whatever, and an altercation happened. There's no footage of the before, during, or the after.
So I have been taken, and I had to sit with. It was revealed to me maybe 3 days ago, because I was like, where did this come from? Like, what in the world? Why, and why? And when I started looking at the dates, and I said, ah, he went and filed this 2 business days after my attorney filed a garnishment retaliatory. Got it.
Now, remember I posted on here. Let me go back a little bit. When she had put is it on here? Because when she was posting on her IG story, when she was posting on the IG story, no one knew what she was talking about. No one knew what she meant when she said, "Oh, right here." So in the first one, make it big. Hold on. Okay. In the first little part where she says, "I don't bother anyone. Child support, nah. Garnishment, can you please get that removed, because I know there are closings coming up and I don't want to add any extra burden." Meaning Mel, because he probably owe child support. And if my lawyer filed a garnishment because you owe child support and we want your wages garnished for you to pay child support, oh, you upset now. Oh, now you upset. Now you mad. So her kind of letting us know what had happened was, oh, after my attorneys filed a garnishment against you because you owe child support, all of a sudden I didn't beat your ass. Retaliation.
So when you think about, and I hear people say, oh my gosh, they need to work together, co-parent. Then you have people say, oh my gosh, they should never talk to each other. Well, now, of course, I won't. I don't give a damn who tries to order me to talk to him or co-parent with him. But previously, oh my gosh, okay, they need to come here. Okay, let's see. Out of all this stuff that has transpired, I'm no longer on the show. I gave y'all that, gave you that, right? What does co-parenting look like? When we show up for things for my children, there's not a protective order in place. There wasn't at that time. So when we show up for something for the kids, wave your hand, you throw your hand in the air, you may speak, you keep it moving. Again, we have children. If there's a problem at the school, guess what? That principal gonna be sitting in a room with both of us.
Meaning I am forced to coexist with him. The courts are forcing me to co-parent with this man I can't stand, who is a crazy person. And so I have to, on some level, be cordial with him in the presence of our children, at school events, at our kids' events, whether it's a sports event, an award ceremony, whatever, a graduate, whatever it may be, I am forced to coexist with him, even though y'all know the motherfucker's crazy. Yeah. I saw the clips from the current episodes where he was fussing and cussing Neil out, told Neil to shut the fuck up, and Chris did not do. Now, look, I get when it's a catch-22 because Martell cussing at Neil was absolutely disrespectful and wrong, and Chris should have said, "Hey man, kind of fuck down." I also get Chris' point in saying it ain't no point in fussing on Martell because he's a child. It just makes it worse. I think Chris, who just wants to disengage and not antagonize or not aggravate Martell more. I get that, but nigga, that's your wife. That's your wife. You should have said something. So think about this. Male has no choice but to interact with that man when it comes to their children. Because they do have young kids.
So I think sometimes people forget what it really means to have children together. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean, oh, you just giving him grace. Oh, no, 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 no. It's not that. It's called being an adult and trying to be a parent as it relates to these kids, you know? And that's more of the stuff that I will go into on my Patreon. That's
Because I don't think we know, because, Mel has been off the show for maybe 2 years, a year or two now at this point in time. So we have not had to see her and Martell even coexist in the same space. But when we have seen them coexist in the same space, we see how uncomfortable he makes her. We have seen Mel try to play that. When Mel had that first family vacation and she let him come on, I think him and his mama too, if I'm not mistaken. But we seen her trying to be nice, and then he's out here doing dumbass shit. Dumbass shit.
more of the stuff I will talk about because it's not what some people have tried to make. Do we sit around and go out to eat? Hell no. Do I get in his car and ride around town? Hell no. He ain't getting in mine. Don't come up to my house. Don't you not coming in my house. Vice versa, right? None of that. But in terms of trying to be cordial in public where our children are, where other parents are, and now I'm wrong for that too, make it make sense. You
Because some people have seen pictures or videos that have been posted, either something that Martell posted or maybe that Mel had posted, and you may see Martell in the background or whatever. And some folks feel or have said out loud, out loud voice, I can't believe she around. It's like, what do you expect? What do their youngest child, Sugar Mama was like 5 now at this point, maybe 6. Like we still have young children that we have to coexist with. So when people see them around each other at the kids' functions, a lot of folks have gave Mel flack about it, as if she's dumb. And she's like, what do you want me to do? That's their daddy. And I've tried to distance myself as much as I can, but of course won't allow it.
can't have both sides of the coin. You can't have both sides. Because then if I'm not trying to be cordial, I'm bitter. And I'm not over it. Girl, I've been over it. I left. I was over it when I left. I didn't do the back and forth, the baby daddy, we still sleeping around and sneaking around. Nope. When I
I mean, I wasn't coleslaw because that's the narrative with him and coleslaw. Is they aren't they, you know what I'm saying? She do all that. Mel, like, I'm not doing any of that. We not hanging out together socially at all. Ain't no is they, are they? Yes, no, no, none of that.
left, I left. So it's not that. So what I'm saying is, I'm looking at, wow, my life is really a lifetime movie right now. This is a lifetime movie all day.
Mm.
All day. This is a lifetime movie all day. How it ends, we all shall see.
How did y'all communicate?
We communicate through a parenting app. So that's the other thing. We're not on the phone kikiing, none of that. We've been communicating for the past probably maybe 2, 3 months through a parenting app.
Because we've seen in the past, Martell will say stuff like, we talk all the time. We communicate all the time. Which makes people think, see, they be talking, they get along, and Mel want to act like they don't. And she's like, no, nigga, we talk through an app. We talk through an app. We ain't talking one on one via text on our cell phones. It's a parenting app, and I've seen other parents have to use that same app as well. When the parents can't get things together for one reason or other, they have these parenting apps that they are able to use, which is a good thing because that way, whoever doesn't want to communicate in the right way is forced to, and there's been evidence of the conversations.
So there was like no playfulness when it came to this situation. And I'll go into that as well. It was a simple, hey, don't do that. Just because your uncle's here, you don't have to act like you can't speak because last week you were, Mel, take me back. Mel, we meant to be together. So don't be like that.
Now he's still begging to be with her, and I fully believe it. I fully believe it. Even if Martell say I would have said that'd be funny, Martell still says things that aggravate that lady. And if Mel Pointer saying you were at whatever event, and all of a sudden he did not want to speak to me as if it's some kind of beef, and I said, "Nigga, what you acting fake for? You can say hi. We can speak. We can be cordial." Because last week, you was in my ear trying to whisper the sweet nothings. And I said, nigga, no. So don't be different now. Because other or new people are around.
And then I walked away. And that was it all. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay, without going into too much detail, because I don't know what you can
Mhm.
can't say, is he accusing you of striking him? Like,
So I have not seen the full report because I have not been to the station.
mm,
But from my understanding, I am accused of jerking and yanking on his arm so hard that I caused a 3-day injury.
So he's accusing her of domestic violence. Anytime there is an incident where someone accuses the other person of physically harming them, is listed under domestic violence because you had a domestic relationship. So ex-wife, ex-husband, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, anyone that you were in a relationship with, and there's an altercation that has any kind of violence reports of it is under domestic violence. So him going to file charges against her to get her arrested for DV. And again, she gonna go into detail on our Patreon. I ain't going to Patreon, but from the context clues, we at the event with the kids, and he's accusing me of hitting, pulling, jerking on him that caused him to be in pain for 3 days. Now we have seen Martell's size, we've seen Mel's size. If Mel did any kind of damage to that man that would cause him to be in pain for 3 days, someone would have had to call the police. Someone would have had to report the fight because that takes a lot of effort. Martell is a big old thick ass muscle bound man. So how did Mel cause injury to you that lasted up to 3 days from yanking, pulling, or snatching? How? That would have meant she would have either had to hit you with some kind of object to hurt you, or she Hulk strong beat your ass in front of people. And if that's the case, why did no one record it, even for Martell's protection? Let's play devil's advocate. If Mel actually hit and beat him up, why wouldn't someone who loved Martell, his uncle, whoever was there, why wouldn't, even a fucking teacher, I don't know, someone would have recorded it? Because you can't cause a 3-day old injury in 2 seconds. You can't. And I'm like, the fat girl, but it shows how insane Martell is.
mm.
Little old me with big old go to the gym every day him. Crazy.
Oh,
Crazy.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
crazy. So now where I am is I'm like, okay, what do you for me when you're in a place where you have someone, it's one thing if you do something, you guilty, just you're gonna have to just be guilty, right? You did it.
Boom. If I did it, I did it. If I did it, I did it. And yeah, to me, if there was an altercation, because Huntsville is a small town, and when anything happened in that town, we find out. It'd be on the blogs. When Destiny got arrested for that stuff, that her ex-husband, everything that happened there, someone discusses it. If a fight happened, everyone would have discussed it. And yes, if there was an altercation that he was hurt for 3 or 4 days or whatever, he would have bruises. And so would she, because she would have had to beat him up so bad. I know she would have got bruised in retaliation as well. If she, pushed, hit, kicked, or whatever him, wouldn't someone have to pull her off of him? Just saying.
I'm not even worried about it not being thrown out. Not worried about that at all. That's not my problem. My problem is why in this system am I having to go turn myself in for something that's not true? And I know that's something people have had to do all over this country every day. I'm aware of that. But when the evidence is able to be presented,
Mm.
that evidence should be seen prior to you saying, come turn yourself in.
Because when Mel pressed the charges against Martell, she had to show evidence of him harassing her. That's why the judge put a warrant out for his arrest and said go arrest his ass. Her point is, how can y'all put a warrant out for my arrest, come to my house to arrest me, had that ball bastard with y'all if there was no evidence that I did this? And I'm assuming her point is because she didn't do it. Now, if by chance video pops out and we see little old Mel beating up on big ass Martell, then we would have that discussion. But if her point is there's no evidence as proof that I did anything, so why was a warrant off my arrest? Why was the cops on their way to come get me? If there was no, and I'll say this as well. Usually, and this happened with the Cardi B stuff. When someone say someone did something and this, I had scratches, I was bruised up, I was in pain. Where's either the video or photographs of your bruises? Because anytime you get when you are beat up, when someone has hit you and your body hurts, there are at least red bruises. There's bruising, swelling, it's a bit of discoloration of your skin, especially if you are a lighter skinned person. So can't nobody convince me that if what he accused her of happened, that he don't have some kind of pictures to show and stuff. It should not be only word of mouth. You should not be able to say, hey, so and so hit me real hard last week and my body was hurting, and then they're arrested, but there's no evidence. Now you can have an investigation. You can investigate a crime and then ask, hey, Melody Shreve Rogers, did you do this? And she can say, no, I did not do anything. There's the investigation. But for the warrant out for arrest and all that shit, the police coming to her house, that's crazy. He should have had them shown some, even if the proof was the principal, the teachers, a counselor, a therapist, a gym teacher, okay, a teacher's aide, okay, a security guard of the school, a crossing guard, if someone in the area of the school, wherever they were, said, I was there, and yes, I saw this happen, I'll be a witness. We need 4 witnesses who was not related to that man and ain't on his payroll. Then maybe, yeah, we put a warrant out for your arrest because we had several witnesses from the school who say she did hit him.
So with that being said, um, so, okay, I got you on my other phone now. Somebody said he sure did heal fast in 3 days. Girl, if I told you the evidence I have of the day after and all the few days after, girl, he was never injured. There was nothing done to injure him. And the evidence shows that. So could I have my day in court and prove otherwise? Absolutely.
I would sue him for defamation. I would sue him for lawyer fees. I would sue him for paying a separate because why are you fucking with me? Why are you fucking with me? And her saying her responding to a comment about how was he hurt for days or whatever, and she's saying, "Child, the next couple of days I was around that motherfucker. He wasn't hurt," which probably means, and I'm assuming here, based on what she said, they probably had other events for the kids that they were in the same space. So if something happened on a Monday at this event for the kids, now we don't whatever it is, okay. If something happened on Monday at this Monday event for the kids, when we were here, whatever, and they had a Monday event, they had a 2-day event. It was a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I saw him and he was still around here. He wasn't hurt. How can you tell the police that I beat you up and you was hurt for 3 days if you were at other events the following day and the day after?
But what I'm having a problem sitting with is, but why do I have to do that when I didn't do anything? But the interesting thing is there's so much, like I said, I'm going to share it on my Patreon. I have things in writing even that, you know, validate the reasoning behind all of this.
So I want to show that real fast while she brought it up, because a part of, because she made posts on her Instagram, say Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and then she put some more up today. Again, after she was on Queen Sheba Darling's live yet last night, and that's the third one right here. This morning, another emotional one. I slept for over 10 hours last night. Exhaustion, emotional distress, truth always prevails. So much to consider decisions enough. Okay, hold on. She also put up, so those praying, thank you. Is that it? Oh no, this one right here. So you try to, because you don't want to be held in a contempt of court. Wait, no, which one is? Let me be sure. No, the first one. I'm sorry, y'all. The first one right here. So to those praying, thank you. To those who have chosen to stand in the gap, thank you. The evidence is so unbelievable. I will try to go live today on my Patreon, but as I told them, it depends on if I feel up to it. It's been caught the call. This is an old one. It's the next one. So you try to, because you don't want to be held in contempt of court, because you know the bastard is keeping a record, waiting to file something. Sheesh, you can't win for losing. When you see someone is spiraling unhinged, reality TV and reality no longer able to be separated in their mind, meaning Martell is crazy deranged. You emotionally ask their employer to stop. To step in. Gotta make it bigger. Hold on. Oh my God, I can't see it. I can't see it. There you go. Okay, this is better. Again, when you see someone is spiraling unhinged, okay, reality TV and reality no longer able to be separated in their minds. Now it's affecting everyone. You emotionally ask their employer to step in. Nothing. The courts don't step in enough. But to an extent, they do, because they see it too. But they also don't want to strip all rights, but still want you to co-parent. Meaning, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm just my opinion on it. Bravo, own Carlos King Productions saw Martell's behavior towards me and other people. And I was asking y'all to step in to help, and no one did anything. And we saw that as the fans of the show when she was on there. how we kept wondering, how does Martell have a job? How does he keep doing when they were in Vegas at one time and Marceau had to physically come and pick Martell up and take him out of the room and fussing with Mel? Like, I'm like, how did he have a job after that? We've seen so much. Even when the whole plot thing of him trying to expose her with that revenge porn, we kept wondering, how is he still on the show? So her saying, you asked his employer, which is Carlos King and them, hey, step in. They didn't do shit. The courts won't do enough. They're forcing me to co-parent. They don't want to strip him of his right because he's the daddy, but they should, and they really should. She also said this. She posted this for context when she said, "I have proof of him and his bullshit." So for the full context, you know where to go. Meet her Patreon. Can't make this up if I tried. Lifetime movie. This is from April 12th of 2026, and it's a message from Martell, an alleged message. Okay, allegedly, and it says, "I'm happy you said this. I will begin my process immediately after, which will be public, and it will keep you in Alabama for a while. Thanks, Martell." Now again, Mel put this up. I'm assuming it's a conversation through that app they use and whatnot. Her point is, he was telling people, he told me himself, he gonna do something publicly that would keep me in Alabama. Meaning, if I get arrested, or even if there are pending charges, if there are court cases, I can't leave Alabama. I can't leave Alabama. This is her point saying, see, he said this back in April, and then shit happened in May. She then said lastly, but this, it's enough. False reporting, no. I just dropped the first receipt in my Patreon, and yes, everyone legally who needs it has it. I've always been transparent with my journey since day one. Made my experiences continue to help those of you dealing with your own baby father, turn up baby mama. Gonna be public, huh? So her point was, he told me before he did it what he was gonna do.
All the way from, I'm about to do something that's going to keep you in Alabama for a while.
Oh, hold on, what?
All the way from, I'm about to do something that's going to keep you in Alabama for a while. When I said, hey, I'm looking to move, don't want to decrease the number of days, you have with the kids. That's not what this is about. Let's come up with a plan. If that means more weekends, more summers, more holidays, whatever. And if you respond in writing and say, I'm about to do something to keep you in Alabama. At the time, I didn't understand what he meant at all. But now that this has happened, I'm like,
Meaning, if now we know Mel has been trying to move out of Alabama for a while since they got the divorce. Honestly, she wanted to move to Georgia. Child, it's called words. Child, y'all be so fucking literal. It aggravates me when y'all come in. We know. So don't come here first of all to nobody. Okay? Don't come here first of all to nobody. We've been on live for an hour. Okay? So don't come in the door thinking you know something. I'm just telling y'all. Don't first of all me. Say hello first. Okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. Everybody be blessed now, but don't be blocked. This situation makes me think about those old Lifetime movies where a woman would flee the country with the kids to keep them safe. So unfortunately, it really, 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 really is. And the fact that Martell went down to file charges against Mel to try to get her arrested, as we've been saying this whole time, is sad.
so this was a plan all along. But I'll show those receipts in my Patreon.
Okay.
And that was her full conversation on the live. And again, even though she'll have more details on her Patreon, the point is Martell knowingly went and filed charges against her alleging abuse, alleging DV. Okay, accusing her of apparently putting hands on him that caused him to be in pain for 3 days. You know, accusing her of doing this at the school around other people. You know, he wanted her to be arrested. There is a warrant out for her arrest. She will have to turn herself in or have her lawyers work on it. The point of the matter is Martell tried to have Mel arrested for DV because he's crazy. Yes. I'm like, how gonna first of all me in my house? I'm like, hey. And so many people trying to defend Mel and be missing context clues. And we'd had a whole conversation or whatever and said exactly what happened. Okay. His behavior is not being addressed and it's not being taken seriously. God forbid. Yeah. This is my worst fear. My worst fear is he won't stop. And I feel like we've seen him continue to get worse and worse. Okay, it's a whole scheme that Todd set up to bring us the bullshit. And in this case, Todd is Martell. Okay, and her point is no one is trying to stop him. Okay, no one is trying to stop him. And his full intent was for Mel to be arrested for DV. There's a warrant out for her arrest. Okay, it's now people are discussed. So it makes her look bad. And her point is saying, I'm not playing them gang with that mother. I'm at my house minding my business, only to be told the police is down the street. And so, and Martell is with him. Oh, a scheme, you say? Yes, an evil scheme, a bunch of bullshit. And I feel like at the end of the day,
is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Meaning, trying to accuse your ex-wife of abuse with no kind of proof, with no kind of evidence, and even though you were able to get an arrest warrant and had the police down the street trying to arrest her, meaning once had Mel not been given the information, Mel would have left the house with them kids and would have been arrested. That was Martell's whole plot, to get Mel arrested. That's the thing. But she wasn't arrested. But that was the plot. That was the scheme. But God said no. God said no. The lawyer said no. Mel said no. Because luckily she, people know your routine. The people that are like, they know our routines. Okay, get up. You're up early. You leave the house, and you don't think about the warrant. And I think at one point she mentioned the warrant was probably in effect since sometime like a couple weeks earlier in May. And it was not until the 29th of May, again, which was last Friday, that the police was on her down the street waiting to arrest her. Because they could go in her house, but they did not. Okay. But she would have left with the kids and she would have been arrested. Martell, the doting father, comes to save the day when Mel is out here with the arrest. Okay. Okay, it's okay. And first of all, Martell,
that motherfucker ain't shit. He don't care about me, you, nothing.
And folk need to understand that. They do. You need to see the shit. Okay, girl, at this point, Mel is fighting for her life.
Fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
Because she's having to not only defend herself, but she's having to tell y'all the common sense context clues that Martell is consistently harassing her in different ways. The different ways that he's coming trying to attack her. It does not matter that she wasn't taken down to the jail and arrested. Martell filed charges. There's an arrest warrant for her arrest. And had she not been told, she would have been arrested. There's still a warrant out for her arrest, even if her lawyers are trying to handle it. The point of the matter is, it happened. Okay, having an arrest warrant means you will be arrested. First of all, she wasn't arrested. Coming here late, talking to me like I'm. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I have 4 children at home. You not paying no fucking bills, Negro. Okay, you're not helping me to take care of the kids when they at my house. And I'm here with our children and their friends, and you down the street with the police trying to catch me up because you done told them I beat you up and girl. And some people tend to, and because I'm trying to know how to say it properly, because some people don't like Mel, they are tending to side with Martell. Oh, Mel must have did something. It can't be out of nowhere. She must have at least punched him. Maybe she pushed him. It gotta be something. No one recognizes crazy narcissistic individuals do not need any help in causing the bullshit to go awry. They live off of toxicity and egoness and negativity. And we see the red flags flashing. And y'all still be saying, but what did Mel do? Why won't she do this? Why won't she do that? Which have y'all not seen all the stuff she's done over the years? Martell is an abusive ex-husband. Abuse can be verbal, emotional, mental, spiritually, all of that. He does all of that. Martell does not have to physically hit Mel for her to be in a domestically violent situation with her ex-husband. And so when people play dumb, like, well, it ain't that big a deal. It ain't that big a deal. She should not even have to pay lawyers to work on this for her. She should not even have to be paying lawyers to work on this for her. There's enough physical evidence and video evidence, text evidence, conversational evidence, and that fucking TV show that shows Martell is insane. The way he snapped at Nell quickly and was like, shut the fuck up, to a grown woman who can be his elder, as she sat next to her husband. The fact that Martell had no care in the world to be respectful to Nell. What do you think he did to Mel? When he and Mel were divorcing, he sat there and called her a hoe and accused her of cheating on him, knowing he had a full-fledged, years-long affair with a fucking affair baby. No offense to the affair baby, but what the affair, we've seen what he did. And because she chose, because this is the thing, because you choose yourself and you don't let a person tackle you down to the ground to stay with their horrible ass. They want to get back at you as much as possible. And because Mel has succeeded, when I seen folks saying, oh, Mel want attention because she ain't on the show no more, y'all do know she left the show. So when she tells people, hey, this is what this idiot is doing to me. He's trying to get me arrested. He's lying on me. If I get, found guilty of assault or abuse of DV, and I go to jail and wait for my babies, what happened to my children? And people was like, she only want attention because she ain't on the show. What the fuck do y'all mean? Some of y'all love attention so much, y'all can't imagine someone not giving a fuck of walking away from a successful check and being on television. Mel said, for the check and for the fame, I got me. And she ain't got evicted. We ain't heard about no evictions, no past due debts, nothing. She's been working her ass off because she know Martell ain't shit. He can't do it. I have to. That lady up here working, supporting 4 fucking children on her own back. And y'all think because she ain't on the show no more, she doing shit for attention. And even though I won't pay for a Patreon, I seen folks upset that she had a Patreon. I was like, what? Who do y'all think feed the kids? Martell? Y'all think people are supposed to give y'all content for free. When y'all watch my videos, y'all say, oh my God, all these ads, the ads pay me. Unless y'all want to send me a check, the ads is how I get paid. My time ain't free, baby. So y'all have to also get, you're right, she not on the show anymore. And so she do have to make money. And why should she give y'all the milk for free? No, bitch, buy my cow. Buy my cow. Pay the money for the Patreon. Because if you really want to know, pay the money. She has to make money. She has 4 children to provide for. They have school clothes, shoes, food, vacations, all the things. Beds, toys, rent, mortgage. Thank you, Miss Kitty Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Some people are so focused on wanting things for free, they can't understand a woman who chose to leave a toxic environment. You wanna know why? Because Carlos King and them, yes, Carlos King and them, allowed Martell is still on that show. Martell is still on that show. Even as he cussed out the cast members and has to be held back by destiny, he's still on that show. We have never seen a conversation where Carlos King calling out Martell's horrible behavior. But Carlos King won't try to think he is so for the women. He loved it when I support the girls. I love the girls. However, you have a narcissistic psychopath on your show. But y'all have to stop feeding into thinking that, and I'm thinking for Mel particularly, that lady want attention or she's doing shit for attention when she tell y'all this is what's happening in my life. And because I do not want to give it up for free, hey, yes, pay me for my pain. Pay me for my pain. And again, the people who want to pay for it will. What I would never do, I would never go and pay for a Patreon and record this shit and bring it. I would not do that. Now, if I pay for a child, I'm gonna have a conversation about it. Yes, but I'm not going to knock her because that's a way for her to get paid. Because if Beyonce had a Patreon, y'all would pay for it. Or anyone you like, Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, Geraldo, whoever. If whoever had a thing that y'all have to pay, people pay for Beyonce concert tickets. Because why? Beyonce don't have not. I don't think has Beyonce ever had a free concert, and she rich. So if y'all are willing to pay for Beyonce tickets and Jay-Z tickets and Fantasia tickets, okay, and anybody else tickets, okay, Drake, Child, whoever your favorite person is. If you've ever bought a ticket to a concert, you ever bought a CD, you've ever bought what I buy Pattern beauty products, not beauty, Pattern hair products with the Trade Taylor's Ross. I buy Fenty for Rihanna. And they rich, but I purchase stuff because I support them and I use it too. So y'all should not be trying to talk shit because that lady has a Patreon and she keeps saying it's on my Patreon. It should be. It should be. People are supposed to monetize their work. Now, could she put some shit out of she showed the hell could, and she did. She put out enough details to let y'all know I got more to say. And even though she went on Queen Sheba's YouTube last night and she gave this piece, we still don't know the extra details. But the point of the matter is Martell is an insane narcissist who is dangerous. If you will lie, you will cheat. If you will cheat, you will steal. If you'll steal, you'll kill. So let's not keep harping on, she got a Patreon. She want attention. No, she has an attention-seeking ex-husband who, God forbid, could harm her, and then it's too late. And that, she's the only one taking care of them kids. Martell ain't helping her. He can help himself. We still don't know what Martell does. We still don't know what Martell does for a living at all. The kids, them kids is in sports, and she's having to pay. And as she said, and I take my kids on trips so that they know more than just Huntsville, Alabama. I don't want my kids thinking all there is to life is Huntsville, Alabama. Because they daddy can't. Have we ever seen Martell take them kids on the trip? No, we've never. We've never, ever since he and me have been divorced, we have never seen Martell post anything about them being on a trip. Now, what we do know, because I'm a equal opportunity person. I do follow her on IG. I do, and she's working. She has a brand, the 7th Avenue Beauty. She also she be on TikTok selling the stuff. So she's having to keep working. I know we see a lot about Stormy in TikTok. Mel is making things happen on TikTok too. She has to work. I don't use it because it's a lot of sentiment or whatever, but she has to work.
For the TikTok Creator Awards today. Your girl is nominated for an award now. This is my first official nomination from TikTok.
So I need folk to get. That lady got 4 children to support, and she do have a Patreon.
Years, and you've never seen that.
Wait, you just said my age.
No, you said 2014 is how long you've been producing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the year.
All right.
I did not say
okay. Wait.
She's supposed to monetize her stuff. She's supposed to. We've seen Mel House. We ain't seen Martell House. She's talking to former producers. Again, people don't be thinking about it, child. They don't be thinking about it. But I'm like, let that lady make her money and pay for her kids. Child, who buying the shoes and the food that she need? Yeah, and she do that's self preservation. She does the home preservation stuff for people that she be doing. Okay, she do be little kids that I be laughing at because she has her brand Seventh Avenue Beauty. That if you recall, the reason she had to rebuild was because when her and Martell divorced, Martell wanted half of her beauty brand, and she said, "Nope, dissolve it. I rather dissolve the brand I have than to have to share the proceeds with him forever." And she canceled. What was it called, man? I can't think of what the old brand was called. She canceled that brand, and then she did now she has Seventh Avenue Beauty. I'm like, I was something property preservation. I'm like, child, what's it called? I used to work in property preservation. I worked at a company where we had to hire folk to come do the work. You hire folks to do inspections on homes at the bank's home. You hire them to go to the homes and do winterizations on the houses so they don't freeze in the winter. You hire them to go cut the grass. You hire them to take care of property to do trash out. You hire them to do all that. And you do have to know how to do all of that. And Break was the name of the brand before she left it be because he wanted the money. So again, I know some folk, don't like male. You don't have to like male. And I ain't saying the kids getting older. Look a little Tank. Look like a daddy, child. Okay, but people think that Mel is jealous because she's not on the show. She's still thriving. She just is not on Love America anymore, but she's still thriving in life. So please stop acting like the only way she can survive is on that show. It isn't. And she did this with Queen She back in February. So again, she's still working. And yes, she do have a Patreon, but so what? Beyonce has her own website too. She should. Because the only reason she had to leave her show was because her ex-husband was crazy. But she in her same house. Okay, that's furnished and whatnot. She had a little collection with what's that man's name? With Nick Cannon, who had helped her a little bit. But again, Mel said, "Bitch, play with somebody else." And when Martell had them kids, they had week to week or whatever, she work and she make money, and she needs to. Look at one of the babies. Which one is this? This is Boss Baby. She's the second youngest. I definitely who you think paying for the tennis? Who do you think it pays for the kids' tennis lessons? Who you think paying for them shoes and them stockings? Who you think paying for the face mask and the robe? Okay, who was the class? Who do y'all? I know y'all don't think of Martell, so what do y'all want her to do? Look a little shit on mama. So she says stuff like, "We have to coexist. We have young children." We have young children. But again, I just need folks to understand this is the oldest daughter. Okay, she was 14 this year. Was it Milani? No, Mariah. So the oldest is 14. Their oldest child is 14, and their youngest child, who again is Sugar Mama, because she was born in 2020. She turned 6 this year. Well, no, she will turn 5 this year. So the oldest is 14, the youngest is 5 this year. And so we still have to co-parent. I have to still be around him. But I also have to make a life for my children because he can't do it. He ain't paying no fucking bills at all. In the same house that we seen her in. Look at the babies. Okay, having a good time at mama's house. We don't know what house they'll be in with Martell. Okay. And she have her little winter party child with the children. Who gonna pay for the sprinter van? Or the outfits? Okay, the all white and the furs. Who gonna pay for that? Not Martell. So every time y'all say stuff like, oh, why she got her Patreon and why this and why that, how is she supposed to support her children if she can't monetize her life? Just wondering. So this is not a male is perfect video. All I'm saying is all the people. Again, youngest baby. Ooh, it's a gnat in here. I hate summertime, child. Oh Lord, hate it. I just threw my fruit away. Again, she turned 6. She was born. Okay, baby girl was born the end of 2019. That's what it was. She was born in December 2019. She just turned 6. Either way it go, they have little itty bitty babies. And I just need folk to get that lady has to provide for her 4 children. And she should. And that might include a little Patreon. Little paid event. Okay. So at the end of the day, to wrap up this video, Martell absolutely plotted to try to get Mel arrested. There's a warrant out for Mel's arrest. Okay. He tried to get that lady arrested. Okay. So we didn't watch the full Queen Sheba interview and what she said. If you pop in right now, go from the beginning. So again, this is not a male is perfect post. What this is a Martell Holt absolutely antagonizes Mel and stalks her and bothers her and is dangerous to her, and that he lied, according to her, he's lying about her attacking him and physically harming him last month, and that he had a warrant out for arrest, and he and the cops showed up down the street from her house to have her arrested. And had she not been warned about it, she would have been arrested. Instead, she has her lawyers working on it, but there's an active warrant out for her based on what Martell said. And then she said it's lies, bitch. It's lies. And so that's my point. And anyone acting like she's crazy for trying to protect herself and her kids and live a life separate from a narcissist, you're the problem. Okay? You are the problem. Anyway, and y'all also, though, the title of things sometimes is to get y'all in here, but we're having a full conversation about what happened. Martell filed charges against Mel to get her arrested. Okay? And no one is stopping him. He wants her stuck in Alabama. And when someone has a warrant out for your arrest for domestic violence, that was a plot and a plan. And the fact that they used to have a happy marriage for a little bit of time until who he really was showed himself. His true form showed. And Mel was smart enough and strong enough to walk away from him, from that show, and everything else. So that's all I got, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna go back to chilling out. I hope the charges are dropped. I hope the warrant is canceled. And I hope that anyone who was dealing with a narcissistic person in their life, be it an ex-husband, ex-wife, or whoever else, I hope you also have the space, the time, and the money and the resources to not stay. Because some women don't have the resources to leave these situations. And anyone siding with Martell or anyone being caught up on, well, technically, she wasn't arrested. But guess what? She could be, because it's a fucking charge. And her aggravation and the fact that if his plot had worked, it would have helped ruin a piece of her life. Anyway, Y'all make sure to like the video. Okay, subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff. Because I'm finna go finish chilling out today. Okay, but y'all know, go watch the other live that we had the past couple days. Okay, we talk all the time and whatnot. Okay, but I wanted to give this a standalone video for y'all today on Saturday, and I will talk to y'all later. Again, like, comment, share, and subscribe all you need to, or you want to. I am live most days at 9:15 p.m. on weekdays, and in the afternoon time on weekends. Okay. Anyway, be good, be kind, and then fuck Martell. Okay. Because again, in case y'all don't know, okay, Martell.
That motherfucker ain't shit. You don't care about me, you, nothing.
And that's it. I gotta go. Bye, y'all. Because we can't stand Martell.